I think that mental health still, where I live anyways, is still kind of taboo. People tend to not look at it the same way that they look at physical health. You know, if something hurts you, you should find cure for it. I think that's the way we should be treating mental health. Talking about what it is, which is something that you're going through and that is solvable, and that is why seeking solution is something that you should be not ashamed of and sometimes even proud of. I think that people that are able to share their intimate stories in times like this, where it's still not that accepted, I think it's very brave, and I think it's something that should bring people pride. A relationship that I had about 10 years ago, from the start point of the relationship to the end of it, I basically lost myself. I just, I was able to define it after the fact that what he was doing was emotionally abusing me. Being in an emotionally abusive relationship is very, very tricky because there's no laws about that. The scars are not being showed. The police cannot come and arrest the person who treats you violently and actually creates really tough consequences in your life. And that is why it was also so hard for me to define it and find a way to talk about it. My mom, my best friends kept warning me, that something is off and that I'm not being myself. It was very gradual, and that was why it was very hard for me to catch it. It's hard for me to say, trust your mom and friends, because I think sometimes that's not always the case. But I think with my personal story, they saved me. At some point, I came to an understanding. I should not be treated like that by people. That people that I'm with should be respectful to me and should be loving to me. And it's not like a magic that when it stops, it just stops. It's something that I think about every day, that I have to deal with every day, and that I still kind of experience in my current relationship. Those little scars that are left on you that keep showing up even if it's long behind you. But I feel like it's one of the things that I hold so dear as something that I've accomplished. I've accomplished many things, and I make music for a living, and I have many things to be proud of, but I have to say that one is on the top of my list. I was able to regain my confidence, and it was a really huge win for me. It's good to share, your experience with other people, because somehow when it resonates out to the world and not inside your mind, I feel like for me it resonated as something that feels more solvable. I'm in therapy, and I have kind of been for the last few years, and it took me a while to find the right person. She's an older woman. I felt like there was something motherly about her, and she was just the right amount between being too careful and being like too close to me, because I've had experiences like that as well. And once I found her, it made such a huge change in my life that I feel like it was so worth, the search. Music has always been such a great tool for me to process the world, but also to escape the world. And the reason why I chose Who Are You by Anderson .Paak was that it makes me happy, but also it met me at a time where I was really struggling with anxiety. So I went to therapy, and the therapist told me one of the ways in which that you can control anxiety is to walk around the room and just gibber something. Da ba da ba da da ba da da. It kind of helps you control your air. And I would do that for a while. And at some point it started to make me feel like I'm getting bored, or just made me feel like I'm crazy. And And then I realized, there's so many different rap songs that I know or that I could learn in order to replace that gibberish. And one of the first songs that I went to was Who Are You? I loved the atmosphere of it. I was looking for something that would cheer me up. So I learned the words, and then that was something that I did for a while every time that I felt a bit weak and a bit afraid of the world.
They want my business on the front page, put prescription into your frames. Had the vision back in 12th grade that I'd be killing shit with Dr. Dre. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. Draft the licky, I'ma need a sofa. Check out my diggy, check out my who are you? I know what you do. I know you shot a few. I know, hold up. Pull my sticky out the jar, come on. Ooh, savage, there's a nice get up. International, rockin' Japanese dinner. Enough gas to get you above average. How many more drugs do I have to buy from a cigar? New enemies, they're bringing my own ways back. Regular Monday, would've had your whole face smack. Look at you people, wonder why I fucking hate rap. Ooh, what make you wanna go and say that? And I'm on another wave, and I'm putting us away. Feel freaking overpaid, fucking supposed to do. Don't nobody know your name, we ain't never seen your face. You ain't never gangbang, what you trying to prove? Never wanted to be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. Drive the licky, I'ma need a sofa. Check out my jiggy, check out my who are you? Oh no, what you do? Oh no, you shot a few. Oh no, pull my sticky out the jar. I was going through the process, and you can't see me, I'm the Loch Ness. You can proceed, but cautious, get the proceeds to my God kids. Hold on to my conscience, same, my puppets, lame. Wanna drop kick, get drop kick by drop kick. Peace, what peace, people talk about, don't you tell it to police. Scared and underprepared, I can see. Promise I would get to comments before I deceive. Hey, who are you? Oh no, what you do? Oh no, you shot a few. Oh no, throw my sticky out the jar, come on. Who are you? Oh no, what you do? Oh no, you shot a few. Oh no, put my sticky out the jar, come on.